71. Should be lots of sunshine. Tomorrow night, a low of 74. And moving into Wednesday, more sunshine coming your way. Hope you have a great day and keep shining.
MS does suck.
MS mucks with your central nervous system, almost everything about your body.
MS took everything from me.
Always taking away. You never get anything back.
Despite MS, I will keep riding my bike.
I will continue to live the life that my daughter expects me to live.
I won't let MS change who I am inside.
I'm gonna keep being me.
I was toting my pack along the dusty Winnemucca road when along came a semi with a high and canvas covered load. If you're going to Winnemucca Mac with me, you can ride.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Behind the Mic. I'm Chad Graves, and I have another very special guest from the Warren County Education System, Mr. Caleb Shehane. Welcome.
Yeah, glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Caleb is the Warren County Middle School principal, and I think you've got one full year under your belt.
That's
there.
Right. Yes, sir. Yeah, one
Yes.
full year going into year 2 at Warren County Middle School. Excited.
That is pretty exciting. Now is a very exciting time. My kids are, they're a little excited. They're a little nervous. But they're also dreading it a little bit too. So I think it's all those things sort of mixed together.
Right. The unexpected.
Yeah, and I'd say that your teachers are probably feeling similar.
Yeah, so they came back today. They're excited and getting their classrooms ready, working together and getting back into the routine. But, it is always hard to come off a summer break and having a good summer and all that good stuff.
Yeah, well, I know that we've had a great summer, but it feels like it is so short.
Yes.
Have they shortened our summers?
Well, I feel like since when I was a kid, they have for sure. Yeah. I think we used to go back sometimes late August. Now we go back earlier. I know at Warren County Schools, their goal is to start earlier and finish before Memorial Day. So I do like that concept.
I do too.
Being done before Memorial Day. That way, you can kick off summer and the kids, have that rest of May to do. So I know that's one of the reasons they do that. But.
Well, I do like the idea of that as well. And also, it seems like we get a full week off at Thanksgiving, which I love that.
Absolutely.
And fall break. We didn't have fall break whenever I was a kid.
We sure didn't, yeah. And not Thanksgiving. We didn't get the week off at Thanksgiving
I know.
Either. Yes.
So it does feel like we have, I guess, we go for shorter stints and then have little breaks in between.
Yeah, and I think the kids really appreciate those because, they work really hard every day, day in and day out, and it's good to sort of have that reset for them to, unplug and then get motivated to plug back in. So the breaks really come at great times for the kids, I feel like. So, yeah, they're much needed.
I completely agree because they do. They go really, really hard, and then it's time for a break.
Right.
And then we push them to go really, really hard again. Whenever I was in the IT world, we would just call them sprints.
Right.
We would push really, really hard, get our software out, and then push really, really hard again and just go in smaller sprints.
Yes, sir, yep.
Seems like that's what we're doing now with education.
Yeah, for sure. Especially when you get into the middle school realm, we have lots of opportunities for extracurriculars. So our students are working hard in the classroom all day, and then some of them are doing, band 2 hours a day or soccer or baseball or, the variety of different things. So those breaks really do come in handy for lots of those students who do a lot of different things, cheer, many different things.
I agree.
Yeah.
So I have a middle schooler starting the 7th grade.
Right.
So yeah. I remember 7th grade. We didn't have the middle school whenever I was going to school here. We had we called it the junior high.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, but before we dive into all that, we just want to get to know you a little bit because I know you're local. You're a local guy. You grew up, as far as I know, in Centertown. So just tell us a little bit about who you are.
Yeah. So I grew up in Centertown. Went to school at Centertown Elementary for my kindergarten through 8th grade year. Went to Warren County High School. Graduated from there in 2003. After that, I took a short little stint from school, and I went to work for my dad at Jones Brothers Construction and built bridges with my dad and brother. And after about 2.5 years, I decided, I think I want to go back to school and see what, I can do. And so when I started going back to school, I went to Montlow, and I did the 2 years at Montlow, got all the undergraduate things under my belt, and I decided to go into teaching. So I went to Tennessee Tech and did the other 2 years there. So I got my elementary education degree at Tennessee Tech. And shortly after that, I started searching for jobs. And back when I first started teaching, it was a little bit more difficult to find a teaching position. So my very first year of teaching, Bonnie Patterson, who used to be the director for schools in Cannon County, had a job at Woodbury Grammar School, and she gave me my first, job. I've always appreciated that. So I taught there for a year.
In Cannon County.
In Cannon County, yes, sir. Yeah, and so that was great. Learned a lot of great things there. And then shortly after that, Miss Cowan took over as principal at Centertown, and she offered me a job there. So I spent the 10 years there teaching 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, with a lot of great teachers, a lot of great mentors, learned a lot of great things. I was able to help the community, and then an opportunity arose in DeKalb County, and I got to take the head principal job at DeKalb Middle School and spent 2 years there. Once again, reflecting, lots of learning, lots of great experiences. And then the opportunity got to come home to Warren County, and I jumped on it, and I've been blessed to be at Warren County Middle School this last year. So,
Well, I've talked to some people from DeKalb County, and they were a little disappointed that you left there and came back to Warren County, but we got to reap the benefit of you coming back to Warren County.
It's been wonderful professionally and personally. My kids go to school here, so it's really nice to be around, close to your kids and all those good things, and close to the people and the place you want to make an impact. So it's nice to be here.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So you grew up in Centertown, right? Went to work in the construction business and said, you know what, this is not exactly what I want to do.
Yeah.
And decided to go back to school and have just been on the education track ever since.
Yep. So I got my master's from MTSU, and I got my EDS from MTSU as well. So a master's in curriculum instruction, and then my EDS was in administration. So, yep. So
do you ever wish you could go back to just being, I don't want to say just being a teacher, but, I'm sure you go into education because you want to help the kids.
Right.
So is the job different now than whenever you were a classroom teacher?
It's definitely different. When you're in the classroom, you're responsible for those, 30 kids or those 100 kids that you teach, 5 times a day, and you make an impact on those kids. The neat thing about being a principal is you sort of get to take that out and you get to look at it at a bigger scope. And I'm able to, hopefully make a positive impact on not just the 100 kids that I have in my classroom, but hopefully the 500 and 700 that's at, Warren County Middle School. So it's challenging, but I try to look at it that way, just on a bigger capacity. But that's one of the most challenging things. It's not the same as the classroom, but I do miss sometimes just shutting the door and teaching and just me in the room of the kids, because kids is what it's all about, and kids what's got me into it.
So did you have a teacher or someone in education that kind of, I guess, guided you in this direction, or how did you choose to get into education?
So I know I talk about Centertown Elementary a whole lot, but I went to school there, so that's what I knew. And I had a lot of influential people, in my path who helped me. I would leave somebody out, but, I had Miss Teresa Hyde as a kindergarten teacher, and Joanna Lawrence when I got to 7th and 8th grade, Vicki Dodd, Phyllis Graham, Sherry Taylor, Regina Woodley. All those people really impacted me. And one of the neat things about my educational journey is that when I went back to teach at Centertown, a lot of those teachers were still there. So I got to be a student under them, and then I got to be a teacher under them. So they really continued to help me grow as an educator, even when I got back as a teacher. So I've always appreciated that. So, there's always, there was so many people that impacted me, to become a teacher. So.
Yeah, so basically they influenced your life, and you said, you know what, I want to be able to help people in the same way that they helped me.
Right, and I growing up, I had some challenges learning, and so I always made that very. When I got into teaching, I wanted to make sure that the way I presented information, I presented it in a way that all students could get it, and I knew that teaching that there was kids like me who just need that little bit of extra reinforcement or that. Difference in presentation. So I've always tried to wear that hat as I go into the classroom or in principalship to, present things in a variety of ways so all students can be successful. And people did that for me. All those teachers did that for me. So I try to do that for the students that I have now.
I think that's an interesting take on this, because if you are, so you said that you had some challenges.
Yeah.
So do you want to expand on that just a little bit?
Well, I mean, I just didn't learn as fast as my peers sometimes. I mean, I finally caught up to them, but when I say challenges, I just didn't get it as quick as some students get it. You have students in the classroom who, I have a son, he gets it the first time. He sees it, he gets it, he's done with it. And then not all students are like that, though. Some students need to read it, they need to see it, they need to hear it, they need to write it. So they got to do all those different things to really get that embedded. And so when I say challenges, that's what I mean by that. Just the way I retained the information was not as the same as everybody else. So
well, I can really, really appreciate that, because like you said, everyone learns differently.
Absolutely.
So I think that's a really good story for some of those students that do struggle a little bit. It's like, look, you can, if you want to, you just have to work hard at it, but it's also it will happen if you keep on working at it.
So once you figure out how to learn for yourself, and that's the goal for all students, then nothing will stop you.
Right.
So that's what's really cool about teaching.
Well, I like your approach and you understanding that some people do not get it the same way.
Right.
All right. So here's Hamilton coming in with our favorite education song.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna take our first break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some of the changes that are coming up at the middle school. Right. And obviously, we think that these are our positive changes, but we want to talk about those. And some people may think it's positive. Some people may think it's negative, but they're changes, right?
Right. Yes, sir.
All right, we'll be back right after the break.
All right, thank you.
Tackle long summer days with strong summer Wi-Fi with Ben Lomond Home. Whether you're gaming in the basement, video calling from the garage, or streaming on the patio, Ben Lomond Home has you covered. Our GigaSpire Blast router, powered by Wi-Fi 6, can connect over 200 devices, eliminates drops, and delivers blazing speed inside and out, all for right at 10 cents a day. Call your local BLC office or visit BenLomondConnect.com and enter Ben Lomond Home in the search bar. Experience a whole new way to Wi-Fi with Ben Lomond Home. Some exclusions may apply.
Douglas and Lanier, that's where I choose to be. Douglas and Lanier, that's the agency for me.
For rock-solid insurance coverage or sound financial planning for my family's future, Douglas and Lanier is where I choose to call home.
Call Douglas and Lanier, your local Erie agents, at 811 Faulkner Springs Road, McMinnville, at 931-474-0044. At Pioneer Building Supply, we're your one-stop shop for lumber, tools, and building supplies. Whether you're tackling a major renovation or just need a few materials for a small project, we've got you covered. From framing to finishing touches, we have the products and expertise to help you get the job done right. Stop by and see us today at 231 Northgate Drive, Suite 250, McMinnville, or give us a call at 931-473-7777. Our friendly, knowledgeable team is always ready to help you with whatever you need for your next project. For 50 years, Pioneer Building Supply has been the trusted name in construction materials. We've built our reputation on quality, service, and the commitment to your success. Pioneer Building Supply, building your dreams since 1975.
Pioneer Building Supply.
Pioneer Building Supply, where good business makes good friends.
Pioneer Building Supply.
Why don't you head over to Chicken Chef and enjoy a fresh made-to-order meal, or choose from the all-time favorite like the Chicken Nugget Dinner. Stop in for breakfast, order right off the menu with sausage, gravy, fresh homemade biscuits, or try their delicious tenderloin, egg, and cheese biscuit, just to name a few. Whatever your taste buds call for, you're sure to find it at Chicken Chef. They've been serving Warren and surrounding counties for over 40 years. Stop in today, Chicken Chef on the Strip in McMinnville. You can call your order in to go at 473-5020.
Warehouse Discount Grocery serving McMinnville and Warren County with the best meats, freshest produce, and the best prices on all your favorite groceries. Look at these hot deals right now. Fresh 80% lean ground chuck family pack, $4.99 a pound. Prairie Fresh whole Boston butt pork roast, $1.99 a pound. And of course, Mountain Alabama grown tomatoes, $1.29 a pound. And some Mayfield Classic ice creams, 56 ounce, 2 for $4. Be sure to check out the full service deli featuring meats from Charter Reserve, Warehouse Discount Groceries, or you know them as WDG.
Welcome back to Behind the Mic, and my name is Chad Graves. I have a very special guest, Caleb Shehane, the principal of the Warren County Middle School. So I am very invested in the Warren County Middle School. I've had kids there for I don't know how many years now, but you know, my oldest is a senior this year, and now my youngest is a 7th grader. So I've had a kid at that school for I don't know, 8 or 9 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are going to be a few changes coming up this year, but before we talk about those changes, I wanted to mention that the sponsor of this show, a great sponsor, David Stinson, owns a Diamond Jewelry Company downtown. He's taken care of all of our jewelry for many, many years. Right. He's a super guy, my neighbor and good friend. He knows what my wife likes before I even know that she needs some new jewelry. Right. So, do you know David?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's where I got my wife's wedding set from. So yes.
Well, he's been in jewelry for I think his son Abram is going to be the 5th generation jeweler in that family. Yeah. So Stinsons are well known for jewelry around here.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
All right. So one of the changes that I know about is the decision to not go into teams anymore, because I know that teams have been established there for many, many years, and we essentially broke, I think, the 7th graders up into 4 different teams, and now there's just one team. Is that accurate?
So the teams have been a model that the middle school has practiced for probably quite some time. I'm not sure how long. But what we have done this year coming into it is in the past, your child would have had been assigned to a team, and in that team, your child would have had the same set of 4 teachers. So the way that we're going to do it this year is a little different approach. Is for example, there are 10 or 12 7th grade teachers, and so obviously you can't separate that up equally. So if your student has a home-based teacher, but they could possibly have any of the teachers that are within the 7th grade. So we've moved from, a 2-team 7th grade to a 1-team 7th grade. And when I say that, I mean that we have 3 math teachers, 3 LA teachers, 2 science, and 2 social studies teachers. So all of those teachers have the same schedule, so they'll have a common planning together. They will have, your student will go to special related arts with their peers all together. Obviously, they won't all go to the same spot, but your student will have access to different opportunities through that. So they won't necessarily have just a set number of those 4 teachers they used to have in the team. So that's something that's definitely changed that the students have not been used to. Now, the incoming 6th graders won't know any different, but those 7th and 8th graders that are going into 7th and 8th grade, that'll definitely be a change for them. So they're a little nervous about it. But I try to tell everybody that it's really going to be a positive effect because it opens up a lot of new opportunities within our schedule, within our day for students to do other things. For example, they'll have opportunities to choose almost like a mini elective, like if they're interested in art or if they're interested in computer science or robotics. There's a section in their day for a 3-week period of time they'll be able to go to like a robotics class or a STEM class or an art class that's extra to what they're already getting. So that's something really neat that the students will get.
So are you saying that the students get to choose one of these?
They'll have some autonomy and choice in that, yes. So we'll do like an interest. We can't guarantee that they'll get that, get that class, but so we're going to call it acceleration. And so for 3 weeks out of that acceleration time, they'll be in math, science, social studies, accelerating their learning. And for for 3 weeks, they'll go to an accelerated related arts where they'll do like a enrichment STEM activity or an enrichment art activity, or it could be band if they're interested in instruments, or it could be PE for some students who need that extra physical education, or if they want to learn more about, pickleball or different things. So they'll have that opportunity to sort of branch out and do different things within their school day. So that's been one of the positives that's came from this new change.
Well, I like the idea of giving students a choice on which one do they want to attend, do they go to.
Right.
So tell me more about these, I guess, related arts activities, because you had some pretty interesting ones there. Robotics. We did not have robotics whenever I was there.
So they'll have a set related arts they'll go to every day, the PE, STEM, art, and then there'll be this additional every 3 weeks. So we have STEM teachers who have access to robotics programming. We have a CTE class that can do just computer programming. We have 3D printers and all those great things that students could learn to print on. We have an awesome art teacher, Mr. Myers. He's a phenomenal graphic designer who we're hoping that he can maybe teach some of the students who are interested in that graphic design, some of the foundational, basics of that. Our band program is phenomenal at the middle school. We have one of the hardest working band teachers around, Mr. Jacobs. So just they'll have access to additional supports if they're interested in that. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. And I obviously it feels like the middle school's doing well and making positive improvements here.
We're trying. Yeah, I have a great group of assistant principals that have been very supportive when I came in and took the executive principalship. Dr. Riley and Ms. Carr and Ms. Rippey have been great. They've jumped right on board with the mission and vision that I had in mind, and they've really helped me execute those things. And the teachers have been as welcoming as well. They've done a great job, trusting me and getting behind me. So I've always been appreciative of that.
So I had a question here that someone asked. Has there been a girls basketball coach hired?
Yes. So it's Tyra Wright. Actually, Tyra just got married. So Tyra is taking on that head coaching position as head coach of basketball. And then she has hired one of our teachers, Keela Guthrie, to help her. So we're really excited about that. Grace took a position in, I think, Cannon County to do PE. So Grace was the basketball coach up until that point. But Tyra's going to do a great job. Tyra works at the high school as a volunteer behavioral health counselor. And she's just been a great asset to the middle school. She helped us last year, and she's just really great with the kids, and we're excited about that for the program. So, yeah.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some news that I wasn't aware of. But, that's it's actually I don't obviously know everything about the middle school, but that's new information there. So someone also mentioned that there may be a separation of the 6th graders from the 7th and 8th graders, because I remember when we first started going to the middle school, we would have a separate drop-off for the 6th graders.
Yeah, so the drop-offs are going to remain the same at the school. You'll still drop off and pick up at the same location you always have. One of the things that we did do is there has been a lot of teacher movement within the building. So the Related Arts building is now really the 8th grade building. So all of the 8th graders will be housed over in the Related Arts building, and that'll just be known as the new 8th grade building over in the Related Arts wing. So,
that's interesting.
Yes. So all the 8th graders will be over there. Of course, they'll come over to the main building for like PE and related arts and those type of classes, but for the most part, they will remain in that building over there and sort of be all together. And then 7th grade has moved upstairs, and 7th grade is all upstairs in that upstairs wing where 8th grade was at one time.
Mm-hmm.
And then 6th grade sort of remained in that same main hallway outside the cafeteria there where they have been. So a lot of changes within the building. Teachers have moved. They've been great about it. Like I said, I can't brag on them enough they got behind and had a great maintenance department and custodial department that helped us move all the teachers this summer, and they've done phenomenal, and they've got us ready for day one, and it's looking good. So, yeah.
So, obviously, all of these changes, there's a lot of logistics and things that went into making these decisions here. So, who's helping you come up with these plans, and how are you getting these things rolled out?
So, like I said, I have a really great support with my assistant principals, and I'm a visionary person, and they're the planners. So they really help me execute that by planning and getting the fine-tooth details for me. And we just work really great together to try to make those things happen. We have a leadership team at the school that helps us as well, and teacher input and those type of things. So we try to, as much as we can, get everybody involved with that process to hopefully give the kids a good experience at the school.
So I know that whenever we had the different teams, you would have a team leader, and communication would sort of go through that team leader, and then that team leader would then disseminate that information out. How are you planning to disseminate information now that we're, one big team for each grade?
Yeah, so basically what we've done is we've chosen 2 grade level leaders to do that same work. So those teachers will do that work almost like a team leader would, but they'll just do that. They'll share that leadership, and that's how that information will get out. So today we met with them, and they met with their grade level, and I haven't reflected back with them this afternoon, but I'm thinking it went good. So, yeah.
Yeah, so that is a little different, but it's
very
not,
different,
I guess it's not a giant departure from what they were used to, right?
Yeah.
So who are those leaders for each team?
So for the 6th grade, it's Miss Lynette McKinley and Miss Kara Fuston. So, and then 7th grade, it's Miss Keela Guthrie and Mr. David Reed. And then for 8th grade, it's Miss Mary Jo Powers and Miss Joanna Carden. So a lot of them have served in that role for years anyways, as we call it old team leaders. So they're really seasoned veterans in that, so they're helping the new ones take the reins to help us lead.
So I'm sure there were some preparation and communication that went into all of these changes. So I guess how have the teachers handled it, and how did you tell them that, hey, we're making these giant changes upcoming?
Yeah, so I tried to be as open and communicative as possible with them. Just tell them that we are just going to try to make a different approach, and some of them were were very receptive. It was a very positive thing, and tried to have their input when I could. Some things we just have to do because numbers. There wasn't enough students coming into the 6th grade to have 12 teachers, so we had to move some people around. And that's just the way the numbers fall. So some of those things I have to decide on my own, and some of those things I sought guidance from some of those teacher leaders and those team leaders approach. But with any new leader, there's going to be a different approach. And like I said, they've been very welcoming of that from me, and I know that's been tough on some of them. Because that somebody new is
right.
Yeah, so it's difficult.
And not all of them are going to agree with it. I mean, let's just put it out there. So most of the time, a lot of teachers will understand and say, yeah, let's do it. And some will say, you know what, this is how we've always done it, and we want to keep doing it that way.
And I will tell you that the teachers at Warren County Middle School put kids first, and they care about kids. And that comes through when we discuss things like that. And it comes from a place of, I want to see students be successful. So, as long as we're doing that, we can work with that. And so that's what they do. And I'm always proud of that from my teachers.
So have you gotten support from your superiors?
Yeah. Oh, yes. They've been very instrumental in, the ideas that I've had. And I've run that by them and sought guidance from them as well. And they've been very helpful with that and making sure that we have what we need and all those. So, yes, yeah.
So I like to ask this question. So if you could, if you had a magic wand and you needed something for your Warren County Middle School, what is it that you still need there that maybe, a little out of the reach of what you can get from a day-to-day?
Well, I have great teachers. I have great students. Just more resources for the kids. Just, I would like to see better programs, but we're working on that. I would love to see more agricultural in our school, and we've talked about that, at the surface level. Just that's a goal of ours. I would just like to have opportunities for all students to be, for all students to have what they need to be successful. So I know some people are interested in farming, some people are interested in music, or even things like this broadcasting. It's never too early to start those things. A lot of times in middle school, you can already see that kids are interested in this kind of creativity thing. And so I would love for them to have opportunities like that. More of a CTE department, I guess, if I had a magic wand, I would have more of that opportunities for our students at the middle school level.
I think that is great. But I know that the music has come on for our next break, but we had the Rotary Club of McMinnville sponsored a greenhouse at Eastside Elementary
I saw that.
a couple of years ago. And we had that same opportunity to do that at the middle school, but at one time they said that there was not enough physical space to put it. Do you think that there would be physical space for something like that?
I could probably find you some space, yeah.
So would that be beneficial for you at the middle school?
Definitely. Yeah,
all right.
Definitely would, yes, sir. Yeah.
Well, that's something that we will bring up at the Rotary Club. At the Rotary Club.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to take another quick break. Thank you, Hamilton, for the music. But we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to get into a little more detail about changes and extracurriculars at the middle school.
Talk Radio, WBMC News is next.
Oh, why won't this work?
Don't lose your cool. Call Black's Heating and Air for a preseason check-in service on your central air conditioning system. It can increase the life and dependability of your unit while reducing the chances of a very sticky situation.
Unbelievable!
Get that air conditioner checked now.
This is Benny Black.
And this is Seth Black with Black's Heating and Air.
Call today, 931-668-0785.
Benny's slogan at Black's Heating and Air is, once you've had Black, you won't go back.
Mention this ad and you can get a discount.
In the Main Street Journal News, Warren County inmates Austin Mansfield and Aaron Smith were bound over to the grand jury last Tuesday on assault charges stemming from a June 15th jail altercation. Both men, already incarcerated on separate charges, allegedly covered the surveillance camera in their shared cell before engaging in a fight that left each with minor injuries. During their preliminary hearing in General Sessions Court, corrections officers testified that Smith initially refused to return to his cell due to an ongoing dispute with Mansfield, but eventually complied. Shortly afterward, a code red was triggered, prompting staff to intervene. Audio surveillance confirmed the struggle, though officers could not determine a primary aggressor. Prosecutors argued the fight was mutual and premeditated. Judge Ryan J. Moore ruled there was probable cause for the Class A misdemeanor charges of assault resulting in bodily injury and sent the case to the grand jury for further consideration. More local news is just a click away at mainstreetjournal.llc. While you're there, cast your votes for Warren County's finest. Until next time, I'm Rob Nunley.
Ascension St. Thomas River Park is here to listen to you because caring for you is our number one priority. Ascension care teams start by understanding you, your health, and your life to deliver care that's right for you. Now offering cardiac CT angiography services, a non-invasive cardiac exam that looks at the blood vessels that supply blood to the heart and can detect if plaque has narrowed the coronary arteries. The compassionate, personalized care you've come to expect is right here in McMinnville. We're more than just a hospital, ER, and a clinic. We want to give you hope, health, and strength.
I'm Jamie Summers with your Main Street weather forecast. As you're wrapping up your Monday, we're going to see a low of 74 tonight. And then tomorrow, waking up to clear skies and a high of 91. Should be lots of sunshine. Tomorrow night, a low of 74. And moving into Wednesday, more sunshine coming your way. Hope you have a great day and keep shining.
Is this Huey Lewis? This is Hamilton's music right here. Thank you, Hamilton. It is good music.
Okay.
This is Behind the Mic. I'm Chad Graves, and I have a special guest here, Caleb Shehane, the Warren County Middle School principal. So, Caleb, you previously were the principal at DeKalb Middle School.
Mm-hmm.
So, are there things that you learned at DeKalb that you brought to Warren County, and is Warren County different than DeKalb?
Yeah, of course, any job that you have, when I went to DeKalb Middle, that was my first principal job. So, teaching or principalship or anything you do, you gain knowledge with experience. So obviously brought all that experience back. Those 2 years I spent there, that was very beneficial for me to gain that practical experience as principal. I guess one of the things I brought back was just that experience and, being in the middle school setting and being able to look at student schedules and what students need and interacting with, families and helping build, community connections and those type of things at a principal level. I've done that at the school level and I've done that, but I was able to learn that and, enforce that at DeKalb Middle and then help to bring that here to Warren County Middle School has been great. It is a little different to answer your question. It's DeKalb's a very much smaller community. The population is much smaller. And in Warren County, the population is much larger, so there's a lot of differences in that.
So I know that the middle school that's the second largest school in Warren County,
Yes.
only behind the high school.
Right.
So I think you've got how many students do you have?
So around 760. We'll find out for sure in the next few weeks. So quite a few. So we've got quite a few students there. 760. About 35 classroom teachers, about 15 special props teachers. There's about 110 staff within the building,
Wow.
all together, including cafeteria and educational assistants and, different counselors and school counselors and all that.
So 110 staff, 760 students.
Mhm.
So that is quite.
It's quite different from DeKalb Middle for sure. There's about 500 and not near as many staff, but great people in DeKalb.
Well, whenever I was growing up, I always thought of a principal as administering discipline.
Right.
So is that part of your job now?
Yes, it is. I support the assistant principals in that work a whole lot, but we have a code of conduct we follow. So I have to do the discipline sometimes, have to make those difficult, phone calls. And I also have to have some good conversation with kids when they're doing good things. We celebrate the good things the kids do. So we celebrate the positive discipline. We have assemblies each 9 weeks that celebrate the capturing kids' hearts, incentives we do, and we celebrate the character traits that Warren County School implemented a few years ago. And so kids get a certificate, and we take their picture. A lot of times we'll have an assembly. Brent Carden will come take photos, and the kids love that, to see their picture out on social
Yes.
media and all that. So that's always a positive. So there's good and there's positives and there's negatives in the job. So
Well, we'd like to have some students come on to the radio and talk from
Yeah.
time to time. So maybe we should look at implementing some type of program where we could have some middle school students come on the radio.
I think that would be great. Yeah, that'd be awesome. We'll try to get that rolling with you all. We'll get let's talking about that for sure.
That sounds
Yeah.
like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So my wife was telling me she knows way more about the
Yes.
schools and
Yeah.
what's going on
Yeah.
there, 'cause she's very involved in
Right.
the PTO.
Yes.
And she's telling me that the middle school band is now performing at the football games.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I thought was outstanding. That is preparing them to have an even better band program at the high school.
Yeah, so I can't say enough great things about our band. Mr. Jacobs, he helps with the high school band as well, but if you come to a Warren County Middle School football game, you will hear our middle school band just like you do at the high school. They'll play all the songs, they'll do all the things, and it's really a great atmosphere that he's created. So, yeah, they're there playing all the traditional, fight songs and all the things, doing all the stuff to support the cheerleaders and everybody. So it's really phenomenal what they do, the band program at the middle school. So, and that's a fun fact about our band program is it's not just Warren County Middle School students that participate in that. It's all the county schools as well. So there are county students from Dibbrell and Eastside and Urban College that participate in that program that come and play in that band for the middle school.
So you bring up a really good point. The middle school is unique, where the county schools that do not have these programs can participate.
That's correct.
In programs that the middle school has. What are some of these other programs?
So any program that the middle school offers that a county school does not offer, those students from the county schools that are in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade are allowed to participate or try out for. So with the exception of basketball, now the county leagues has their own basketball league they don't participate in. But for example, soccer's not offered at Dibbrell. So if you want to play soccer for Warren County, you come to the middle school and play soccer, volleyball, track, baseball, softball, competition cheer, dance team. All those are those that are offered. Now, the basketball cheer team is its own because the county schools has a basketball cheerleading team that they go around and cheer. Band is one. So any student who wants to participate in those are allowed to do that. They can try out, they can sign up, and they're able to come out to the middle school and participate in that. We have a lot of county students who are on the softball team and baseball team, and their parents bring them out in the afternoons for practice. And so that's a really good co-op opportunity for students of Warren County that's unique to
Yeah, I agree. That is a great opportunity for those kids that they would have never known that these programs existed, but they exist at the middle school, so they can be brought in.
Yep.
And so I guess the parents just bring them in. There's no shared transportation that does that.
So they're working on that. That's been talked about. The shared transportation that's been mentioned. I'm not sure where that's at, where that stands right now. But right now, currently, the parents bring them. So like football is going on right now. So a lot of the students will be leaving, their school in the afternoon, coming to football. As well as volleyball is another one that's going on right now. Of course, competition cheer and dance is a year-round sport. I don't want to leave anybody out. Yeah. Girls soccer is going on, about to kick off. So basically all the sporting athletics that the high school has, we have at Warren County Middle School with the exception of flag football. But we're hoping, in the future we can get something going with that. So
that's incredible.
Yeah,
that
it's really
truly
awesome.
Is incredible.
Yeah. We serve about 400 to 500 student athletes from the county to here. And Betsy McBride, Coach McBride, does a phenomenal job with that. Of course, I aid and support her, but she's got it down to a T. She's really great at doing that, so she's a big supporter of Warren County athletics for sure.
Tennis, that's another
tennis,
one.
Yep, tennis.
Yep.
I knew I'd leave somebody out.
I know,
but golf. Golf is another one.
Right.
Yeah, golf.
That's
there's lots. We have lots. So
you do have all types of programs going on at the middle school, and this is great for the kids to be able to be exposed to all of this.
Yeah,
I agree. So how do you encourage the students to participate in all of these things? How do you get more and more students to participate in your extracurriculars?
So we just try to educate them on the opportunities. One, we try to get the word out by the coaches. The coaches have meetings, and they go around to the schools and encourage the people to try out. Band, for one, he sort of tries to recruit the people that are interested, and he lets them try it out, see if they think they might like it or whatnot. But just word of mouth and just trying to advertise it, and get the word out there that there's opportunities for students.
So we do have several kids from the county coming into the middle school.
Lots, yeah. Like I said, we serve at the middle school around 400 student athletes altogether, and lots of those come from the county schools. So some of them play multi-sports. Lots of volleyball players play fast pitch softball, and lots of soccer players will play soccer and or not girls, but girls will play soccer and they'll play fast pitch or whatnot. So lots of different multi-tiered sports for the middle school. Yeah.
So my daughter is on the competition football cheer team.
Okay.
And I think they're gearing up for their first game coming up. I think my wife told me this morning that their first game was moved to a scrimmage, so it's not an actual game. Is that correct?
I haven't checked with Coach Matheny about that, to be honest with you. I'm not sure when their first game is. I know it's pretty soon. But, yeah, they'll be out there cheering for them. And I know we've got a lot of great things planned for the football games. We've got Go and Gold that's going to happen in September in conjunction with our 8th grade night. We're going to try to raise money for childhood cancer, so that's always a big night for the middle school. But, yeah, any opportunity that you've got to come out and support Warren County athletics, whether it's middle school or high school, be great.
Right. Well, my nephew's on the football team, so I plan to be at, and since my daughter's in competition cheer, we'll be there just about every time the gates are open.
The football team scrimmaged Grundy the other night, and it went really well for him.
Is
so
that
we're
right?
excited. Yeah. So.
Well, hats off to Ben Matheny, who has done an outstanding job. Now, I know that the kids love him, and he's done a very, very good job with that program.
Yeah, wrestling, I forgot that one.
That's right.
And he was in the top 4 last year in the state. He made it all the way to the top 4. I don't know the wrestling term, but he got really close to. If he would have made it past the third, they probably could have won the state. But so that's how far they've went.
Wow,
so that's big. Warren County wrestling is a big thing right now that's not got a lot of attention, I don't think.
I agree.
It probably very positive approach.
Yeah, it probably does need a little more attention.
Yes,
so, and I'm very proud of what Warren County has done in that regard. Yeah, they have done very well in wrestling. So, there seems like they've been doing renovations. Are those complete now? Because I know it seemed like they did those for 2 years or something like that. It just seemed to go on for a long time.
Yeah, it's all complete. There's a brand new addition. That's the main office in the nurses station, where we have a place where you come check your students out, and there's a nurses station right there. It's really top of the line. It's super nice. The nurse has a really nice area to treat the students in. And there's a new office area where parents can come in, and that's where the principal's office, and there's a conference room back there that's really nice. And so we also painted the downstairs hall. We started that last year, and we got finished with that this summer. So the 6th grade hall is all in red and blue, and it's very pioneer theme. So I'm excited for everybody to see that tomorrow. It looks really great. And so then next we'll start with the upstairs and hopefully get over in the 8th grade building and,
It's amazing what some new paint will do for morale around the school or any building.
Right. The kids, we started it last year on spring break, and the kids come back from spring break, and they were thrilled. They loved it. This paint looks so good. It looks, it was very exciting for them. So we were proud of that.
So what is your long-term vision for the middle school academically? Because I do know that in the past there have been a few challenges academically at the middle school in terms of scores and things like that. What's your vision here?
Well, I just want kids to be successful, and success, like I said earlier in this show, that success is different for all students, and I want our teachers to be able to tap into each student in their unique way. I want students to feel prepared for high school. This year I was very intentional trying to build a rapport with the high school, because we want our students to leave our campus, because it's our goal for students, every student that we serve, to graduate high school and to find a career that they'll excel in. So I want students to bridge that gap over to high school and be successful. I want our proficiency scores to get up, and they've come up in the preliminary data. It's coming up, and so we're proud of that. That's an intentional work of the teachers and the students. And I want students to believe they can, and I just want to create a culture of learning and a culture of growing, not only academically but social and emotionally as well. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so it's time for our last break.
Okay.
But when we come back from the break, we can talk a little more about this culture, and I want to talk about how parents can get involved.
Okay.
At the middle school.
All right, I look forward to it.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll be right back on Behind the Mic.
Move yourself. You always live your life, never thinking of the future. Prove yourself. You are the move you make. Take your chances, win or
Towering over Soaky Mountain Water Park sits an 8-story drop down a twisted path of raging currents. Introducing Raptor's Rage. 6 courageous souls ride together to brave the twists, turns, and zero-gravity drops. It's not just a raft ride, it's an initiation. A test of family, friends, and fortitude. Raptor's Rage at Soaky Mountain Water Park. Coming soon. Learn more at SoakyMountainWaterPark.com.
Planning an auction? Count on the Get It Done Auction Company. The Donald Hillis Realty and Auction Company. In business since 1991, they specialize in residential and commercial real estate with emphasis on farms and land. They can help you with estate settlements, business liquidations, and farm dispersals, including land, livestock, and equipment. Donald Hillis Realty and Auction Company, representing more and more families in estate auctions each and every day. Call 473-7774 or visit DonaldHillisRealty.com. Firm 2273.
Looking for a loan? At Coffee Bank & Trust, we can make it happen. From business goals to personal dreams, we specialize in finding a way to get you approved fast. Come home to Coffee Bank & Trust, a division of Coffee County Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS number 646005.
Planning a move? McMinnville Moving and Storage has been trusted for over 60 years. Licensed, insured, and offering free quotes. Visit us at McMinnvilleMoving.com today. McMinnville Moving and Storage. Moving your past to your future.
30 years. Just how long is that? Well, 30 years ago, the World Wide Web didn't exist. No iPhones, no flat-screen televisions, and no Netflix. You might have installed AOL using a floppy disk. Yep, 30 years is a long time. And to stay in business for 30 plus years, well, you have to do things the right way, especially in the last 30 years, when things have changed so much. The Rogers family has done it the right way, building a car dealership with a focus on integrity, treating people the right way, making fair deals. No tired car dealership cliches. The Rogers really forged a different way to buy a car. It's a hometown-friendly feel. Ed Rogers Valley Ford. 30 years of doing business the right way. 111 Auto Lane, Sparta. And online, edrogersvalleyford.com. Ed Rogers Valley Ford. Same ownership, same customer service for 30 years with that friendly hometown feel.
At Redmond's Carpet, they offer a wide range of flooring options to suit your needs. Whether you prefer the softness of carpet, the durability of hardwood, the versatility of tile, or the affordability of vinyl, we've got you covered. We also offer luxury in vinyl plank LVP for those who want the look of hardwood with added durability. Serving McMinnville since 1969, Redmond's Carpet, 2512 Old Nashville Highway. Call them at 931-668-4900 for your next flooring option. Redmond's Carpet.
Well, it's been some time.
You know, I really like this song. But welcome back to Behind the Mic. That is, Zach Top. It sounds like an older country song, and I thought finally got some real country music back, right?
Back from the 90s,
yeah. All right, so before we went to break, we were talking about all types of culture, and seems like we've had a culture of testing, standardized testing. And I continue to hear that we're testing our students to death. And because I know that my daughter comes home talking about iReady testing. She talks about Ames Web testing and then TCAP testing, all kinds of standardized testing.
Right.
So are we over testing our students, and are we going to continue to do that?
Yeah, so assessing students is very important to see, to track where they are, where they need to be. We have to have that frame of reference. I know that this year Warren County Schools is going to go to a different, not platform. They're going to use iReady for the middle. I can only speak to the middle school grades. They're going to use iReady, where in the past we've used Ames Web and iReady. So the students had taken Ames Web 3 times a year and iReady 3 times a year. So this year we're only going to take iReady. We'll take iReady at the beginning, at the middle, and at the end of the year. So that's going to really drastically cut down on the testing that the middle school students have to, take for the year. So you're essentially going to cut it in half. So they were taking 6. Now they'll take 3 this year. So I think that's a positive change for sure for our students, because iReady test where the learning gaps are. Like if a student is missing multiplication or division, where Tennessee Ready and TCAP test the grade level standards. So teachers present those standards, on grade level, and that's what TCAP assesses. And the benchmarks assess, the gaps and where students might need extra help. So it's very intentional. So I do think that it's going to be a positive change to test less this year.
Yes,
for the kids.
I know the kids will be super excited.
Yeah, and
about
even my
that.
own kids. I mean, I have a going into first grade and going into fourth grade. So I mean, the testing is really difficult.
I know. So is this a change across the school system, or is this specifically to the?
So I think I don't want to quote wrong because I don't know exactly what the elementary schools will do, but I know all 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students will definitely just take the iReady 3 times a year, and they'll do that for reading and math. So that's really going to help. I think the lower grades are doing the same. I think there's some exceptions, but I don't want to speak to that because I don't want to tell you wrong or tell the listeners wrong.
Well, I know the middle school kids will be excited that they get to take half the number of these standardized tests.
Yeah.
All right, so do you if you have a few minutes to hang around, we'll go into so we call it overtime.
Okay.
Yeah. So
perfect.
It will be off of the radio, but we'll still be on YouTube, Facebook Live, so we can continue to talk about some of these things.
I'll stay.
All right, that sounds great. Yeah. All right, so this is Behind the Mic. I'm Chad Graves, and I've had Caleb Shehane, the principal of the middle school, as my very special guest, but we are going to continue in our live feed on Facebook and YouTube. But the radio portion is has come to an end. So thank you for listening.
All in all, it's just another brick in the wall. All in all, you're just another brick in the wall. We don't need no education.
When you're in elementary school, it's easier to get them involved.
Yeah.
They think that they don't want them involved. We don't need no thought control. No dark sarcasm in the classroom.
All right, welcome back. We are now in our overtime portion where we're no longer on the radio, but we're still on our streaming platforms, and this will live for the eternity of YouTube.
All right.
All right. So one of the things that my wife and I have talked about is for the parents being involved at the middle school, and there were times, I guess, way in the past where it didn't feel like they wanted, parents to come in and be a part of it. So can you tell me, kind of, is that changed, or are we trying to change that? And maybe that was just us, that we felt that way, but we didn't really know any better.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely, when you cross that threshold of middle school, from elementary school to middle school, when you get to the 6th grade, you get more independence and you get more, opportunities per se. And there is, a little bit less involvement just for that reason. But I am working really hard to try to get the parents more involved. Last year we did the Thanksgiving lunch like the elementary schools do. We invited the parents to come in and eat lunch with their students, and we had a really great response for that. My cafeteria staff was amazing. We served, I can't remember how many meals, but it was quite a few. My front office staff did a great job. And so the parents enjoyed, they really enjoyed just coming in there, sitting down with their, 13-year-old and having lunch with them and their friends, and it was a big hit. And so this year we're hoping to expand on that and invite maybe some business leaders and leaders of the community to come in for those students who don't necessarily have those families that come and eat, that are able to come and eat, because there's some people that's not able to.
Right.
So we're planning to ask some of our community leaders to come in and maybe help us, sit in the gap there. So that's one way we're trying to get families involved. Another way is there's a new app that the school is pushing out. It's called Parent Square. Parent Square is going to be the communication platform that we use at the middle school. And so that's going to be a good way to stay up to date about how to be involved with, the activities at the middle school, whether it be, extracurricular or clubs or different things. So there's always opportunities that I know we miss to get parents involved. And we want parents to know they're welcome at our school and that we will,
Well, that's appreciated, because I would say that my middle schooler would say, "Yeah, Dad, we don't really need you to come." So, and I understand that as a middle schooler, the parents can sometimes embarrass the kids, but
it's just
I want to just make it known. It's like, even if you're embarrassed, I'm still coming.
Right, because they'll remember that.
That's right.
As they get older, and I think it's important to just provide those opportunities, even though they're big, they're kids, they're growing, but they're still kids.
That's right,
and they still need that support from home. We still need that parental support. You need to be talking to your students. What'd you do at school today? What's something you learned? I try to often ask my kids, what's something you learned today? What's something that went good? What's something that didn't go so good? Having those conversations with your students is another way to get involved, because you can figure out what are they learning. What's going on. What's the atmosphere like. You can sort of check the pulse of the building.
A lot of times I get, "How was your day?" and the answer is good.
Yes.
It's like, that's that answer doesn't work for us.
Yeah.
So we have to make them. Sometimes we have to make them talk.
Right. Yeah. And I know it's difficult as a middle school age, because they're sometimes reclusive or not. They just don't want to share too much. But maybe just the leading question. What's something that good happened today? What's something that you didn't like that happened today? What's just trying to get them to open up and communicate or whatever is a good opportunity to see what's going on in the classroom, or having those conversations with the students.
So you mentioned the Parent Square app, and I've heard about it, but I still haven't signed up. I've gotten a few notifications, but I haven't gone through and signed up. What is this?
So it's basically the platform that the middle school is going to for all communication. So it's how we will communicate our every sports team. So we're trying to transition like all the sports teams over to that app. It's a process, because the goal is, I know you're a parent, so you probably have the group chat app, the Remind app, and you have this app. The goal is to get all of that in one spot. And I appreciate it as a parent too, because that's going to help me as a parent.
You don't have to download Band or Teams.
Everything will be right there on the Parent Square app. So all the things going on in your child's school will be right there. It's almost like a feed of information. You can message the teacher. You can, all the different things. So it's just a communication platform that's going to be used for the school.
So this doesn't replace Skyward, though, right?
No, it doesn't replace Skyward. Skyward's still there for all the things that we use it for the grades and for the logistics of where you live and who's, all that stuff. So yes.
So I know at times. So talking about Skyward now, at times our kids didn't have all the grades in. And I would say, "Hey, why does it say you have a 0 there?" Right. And they're like, "Oh, don't worry about it. The teacher needs to put it in." I'm like, "Are they telling me the truth, or are they trying to?" Because I can never tell. Yeah. Like sometimes they, just tell me that the teacher didn't put it in.
Right. Well, sometimes the teachers will. You have those teachers who work ahead of the game, so they know they're going to take this assessment. So they'll go ahead and input that in Skyward into the show like it's blank, when sometimes they've not even given the assessment yet. So sometimes it's that, or sometimes it's they've not graded it yet, or maybe the student was absent and it just takes some time to get, the grades input. At the middle school we have a biweekly, we want them to input grades weekly or biweekly, and so we try to make sure, and our teachers are great about trying to stay on top of that. So that's one of the things we do to try to make sure parents are informed. Which that's another good way to be involved is Skyward.
I couldn't agree more, and I really, and I've always thought maybe there needs to be a training on Skyward, because I imagine that there is only a small percentage of parents that even know about Skyward.
Yeah. So the Family Access app, there's an app on your phone that you can download. I use it for my principal job, but I also use it for my kids' school as well. And you can even set it to where, when a grade is inputted, it'll notify you. Ari Sheehan's got a new grade inputted for social studies, and so that's one of the ways I keep track of my own personal, children's grades to see, how they're doing or whatever. So,
and you can set these notifications inside of Skyward?
Yeah, it's just in the settings. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's different from Parent Square, but you can go into your settings on Skyward and do that. So.
Yeah, that's actually really, really nice, because I would love to know if my kids make a bad grade on something.
Yeah, and sometimes it's good to, what that's another conversation opener or something good. You did great on that. I saw, good job, so another way to communicate with them. So
yeah, I think that is an outstanding idea. So I'm going to have to check into that about getting these notifications, because I was not aware of that.
Yes.
All right. So what are other ways that you could think of to get our families involved or understand about what's going on at the middle school?
I just think, talking to your students, seeing what they're interested in, seeing what's going on, encouraging them to, participate in something they're interested in. Pick one thing, whether it be the Interact Club or the Beta Club or the, we have peer buddies at the school that help different students. archery, just all kinds of different opportunities to get involved and encouraging those students to get involved. And then in turn, the parents are going to the school, doing more things and of that nature. So, we try to invite them in as much as we can. Awards days and things like that, or beta club, inductions. And so those are all great opportunities to get involved in your child's education.
Well, you mentioned the Interact Club, and I want to give a quick plug to the Interact Club, because I'm part of the Rotary Club here in McMinnville, and that is the supporting organization for the Interact Club. I was part of Interact Club in high school. They didn't have it whenever I was in middle school, but great program for the kids, teaching them to be the future leaders of the communities that they're part of. So I think kids should really be involved in some type of club, just like you're talking about here.
So when we come back to school, the Interact Club is sponsoring we're doing something new at the middle school. We're going to call it the Pioneer Shop. And so what this is going to be is it's going to be all the necessities that a student might need. So whether it be pencils, paper, folders, hygiene products, deodorant, soap, toothbrushes. So the Interact Club is leading that up. And so your student will be able, if the student doesn't have something, they'll be able to go to that, and then they'll be able to get, what they need and take that back home with them. So to make sure they're, they have their basic needs met the best we can. So that's something we're excited about and proud of. And that's another way that parents can get involved. You can send those items in. There'll be more things coming out about that in the next few days from that club. But anytime that there's opportunities to give to the school or to give of your time or of, resources, that's a great way to get involved to make sure all students are successful.
That's outstanding. So we have a new Interact Club sponsor, Journey Wilson, this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so very proud of her. So her dad is Chris Centracchio.
Okay.
He is in the Rotary Club with me, and he and I talk about these things all the time.
Yeah, so Miss Wilson has taken on a lot of leadership roles. We're proud of her. She's a second-year teacher for us. I've got I think I said this earlier when we were on break, but I've got a lot of great new teachers who are excited about education, excited about helping kids, and they're jumping all in, like helping with different things. I know Journey's helping with soccer, and she's doing different things. And then we have Miss Madewell, who's been, really helpful in some of the things that we're doing. Lots of great teachers. I don't want to leave anybody out, but
obviously, you can't name everybody.
Yeah,
but,
no, they all work super hard. Our dance team. There's so many great educators that go above and beyond outside the classroom to provide students opportunities that very little time or very little money compensation for it, but they just do it because they love it. So.
Well, I know I told you in the break, but I just wanted to say it. I'm so proud of what's going on and at the middle school, the high school, and I'm close to the principal at Hickory Creek.
Yeah.
She's my sister-in-law, so I know that there are good things going on at all of the schools around here, and I think that our community needs to know about that.
Right.
So that's one reason that I liked having these conversations like that you and I are having.
It's been great,
Yeah, I think it has been great. So I guess one last question, a tough one.
Okay.
Right. So, leadership, it often requires some tough decisions. So have you had to make any really tough decisions? And I know the answer is yes, but can you think of some really tough decisions that you've had to make that had some opposition or some reluctance?
Yeah. So, when you're in leadership, you make decisions, especially at this level that I'm at, that you impact, people's lives, whether it be a student's life or a teacher's life or whatnot. And so, I try to just go off the facts and try to make the best decision, morally that you can, and just try to encourage, even in those bad decisions or those tough conversations, that if you can take it and make a good outcome from it, or you can take it and make a negative outcome from it. So I always try to look at it at that point of view when I make those decisions. But there's been lots of decisions that had to be made, and just you just gotta just be confident that you're the person that been put in place to do it, and you just sometimes you make mistakes, and you just try to do the best you can, and that's just life. So
and that's something that I always try to tell everybody. If you're working in one of the businesses that I'm a part of, it's like if you make mistakes, it's okay.
Right.
It really is.
Right.
If you're not making a mistake, then that means that you're not really pushing yourself or trying really hard. So I think it's okay to make mistakes.
Right.
So and I'm not saying that you made any. I'm
Yeah,
just
no,
saying
yeah.
that,
Well, I have. Trust me, a lot. I'm very aware of that.
well, I truly appreciate you coming on.
I truly appreciate
and
you what
talking
you're doing,
to us about what things that are going on at the middle school. My daughter is really excited. She doesn't necessarily say she really likes school, but she's excited.
She's not excited about getting up early.
That's right.
Yeah.
But she is excited about going back and seeing her friends at school. And, she's not, a sixth grader this year. She's, one of the older kids. So,
That's right.
So I'm happy for her. She's growing. She just approaches things a little differently than she has whenever she was younger.
Right.
So
all right.
Mr. Shehane, I think you're doing an outstanding job, and I'm proud of what you're accomplishing there at the middle school, and I know that you're preparing these kids for their next step in their life. So thank you for doing that.
Well, I appreciate that. I've got a great staff and that works super hard to make sure those kids are successful. So I can't take all the credit because they do most of the hard work. So I'm thankful for the staff at Warren County Middle School and for the opportunity to serve kids and families. It's just a blessing.
Well, I love your approach and the culture that you're building there of kids first.
Yep.
As long as you look at the kids and their education first, that's everything else sort of works out.
Yep.
Well, is there anything else that we didn't cover that you feel like the world should know?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
We're excited about the school year. Just we're looking forward to seeing the kids, seeing all the students, and we're going to have a great year. And we're looking forward to all the great successes we'll have academically and in the sports and all the things, all the successes that we'll have, and we'll just keep trucking. So, yeah, we're excited.
Well, again, thank you for coming on the show and talking to us. Hamilton, thank you for producing the show and getting everything ready here. And we'll be back next week, and we'll be announcing another guest up here in a couple of days, and probably be someone from the education system as well.
All right.
So thanks again for coming on Behind the Mic, and we'll see you guys all again next week.
All right, thanks for having me.
I tell him right away, now what's the matter, buddy? Ain't you heard of my school? It's #1 in the state. Hey, take it away. Get so be true to your school. Just like you want your girl. Be true to your school. Let your colors fly. Be true to your school. I got a Letterman sweater with the letter in front. I got for football and